Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be talking about Candy, or HungryFatChick. We've talked about Candy. We've actually talked to Candy on the channel before, but we've talked about her quite a bit. If you're not familiar, Candy is someone that does mukbang videos here on YouTube. So basically she eats large amounts of food in front of the camera, kind of talks about random stuff. Obviously, if you know Candy, you know her name, HungryFatChick. She is pretty overweight, and that's a big part of her channel is her size. And she does tons of videos. One thing I've always really liked about Candy is that she is a lot more open and honest than I would say most people that are in her position. She has always been pretty clear and upfront about the fact that she has to do mukbang videos because those videos do better for her channel, and that this is how she makes money, stuff like that. So I've always appreciated that, regardless of how you feel about the fact if mukbang videos should be on YouTube or not. That's besides the point. But I have always seen Candy as someone that truly has struggles with food, truly does want to lose weight, and just has a lot of issues with that. And then we're adding on top of the fact that she is someone that wants to lose weight, but she also has this YouTube channel that a large portion of the viewership is interested in watching her eat pretty unhealthy food in big quantities, right? And so it's been a very interesting thing to watch and talk about and share my opinion on. And recently Candy has been changing up her diet quite a bit. She actually lost quite a bit of weight, but we are going to be getting into that now. So the main thing that changed about 6 weeks ago, as you can see here, is Candy decided that she wanted to try the carnivore diet. If you're not familiar, it's basically just eating animal products, basically eating meat and things like that, basically very strictly. So it's almost like a form of keto, but it's like a step up from that. And in this video, she kind of talks about why she wants to do that. And I feel like it's very interesting because, again, I feel like Candy has always been pretty honest and upfront about why she's doing things. So we're going to watch a little bit of this video and I'm going to share how I feel.
Hey, y'all. Yep. No eating video today again. I've got a lot going on in my mind right now. So, I don't know. I just felt it was better that I speak to you guys one-on-one without food as a buffer.
So what she's talking about there is that normally she does mukbang videos, obviously, and there's almost always a lot of food that's involved. And so lately she's been kind of not doing them as often and kind of sharing her thoughts and stuff like that. So that's what that's all about.
Yeah, I've been kind of, I don't know. What's going on is something that's been on my mind for a really long time now. And I know y'all probably feel it or felt it coming. I'm not quitting mukbangs, so I'm not going to say quitting mukbangs, no, because, damn. But the direction of my channel, if things go the way that I'm planning on them going, is going to change drastically. And I know I'm gassing myself up really big right now, because I'm like, I know I could do it. And while, I have issues with the word diet, basically what I'm going to be doing is, for all intents and purposes, a diet. I've talked about it before, and I've tried similar things before. Y'all know I got on keto several different times, and yeah, I'd lose a few pounds, but it was nothing that I could sustain. And through
so it's interesting hearing her say that keto was something that she couldn't sustain, right? But she wants to try carnivore, because you would think that the thought process would be, well, keto is a little bit less restrictive than carnivore, so therefore keto would be easier to sustain than carnivore. She goes on to explain why she feels carnivore might be easier for her, so I'll let her explain that. But I just kind of wanted to bring that up because I feel like what she does to explain it and the ways that it makes sense in her mind are something that I think if you've never been in a similar position or someone that has felt like they were addicted to food or they were addicted to food, it might not make any sense. But as someone that has been in her position, it made a lot of sense to me when she explained it, and I just thought it was kind of funny.
Trial and error, I realize that now. Basically, I am an addict. Just straight up, I'm an addict. I'm addicted to sugar. I'm addicted to fast food. I'm addicted to carbs, bread, potatoes, rice, all these things. So I'm almost, but not, having a little bit of a panic right now because what I'm about to do, I'm going to be saying goodbye to all of these things, probably for a very long time, and the panic comes in, not because I think, I just can't do it, because I know it would be just easy for me to do it, because it's essentially abstinence. I'll be abstaining from all of these things, and anything remotely close to these things. The panic comes in where I'm obviously afraid of failure, and these diets that I've been on before, and these lifestyle changes that I've been on before, I basically started out doubting myself. I know I know myself, and I know I have no freaking willpower, and I'm gonna fail.
So that's another thing that a lot of people really struggle with. I think when you've tried to lose weight a bunch of times and you've failed so many times, I've talked about this before, right? It's like, it feels like your willpower when you first starting is a lot higher than it is once you have failed a lot of times. And then you feel like you have like one day in you, and then you end up just like going back to what you were doing before, when like maybe you were in the past times that you've dieted, you've been able to stay on the diet for months, maybe even weeks or whatever, right? And then you end up kind of slipping. But I feel like it's pretty common, the longer you try, the more diets you try, the more times you quote unquote fail or are not able to stick to it, the less willpower you feel like you have in reserve, right? It's like you run out so quickly. And knowing this is why I try to do as much as I can to help people find the diet that is right for them, or the way of eating, the style of eating, the lifestyle change, whatever you want to say, to find what works for them as soon as like possible, right? Because this is something like dieting and failing. It really is like traumatic, or it's just, it sticks with you. And it ends up like informing a lot of the decisions I feel like you make in the future, or even how much you believe you can succeed in the future, right? Which is what Candy's explaining. One thing I really love about talking about Candy and sharing her on the channel is that she is someone that I do feel shares her honest thoughts and the feelings that she has. And while obviously her experience and what she's going through is probably not exactly the same as what most people are dealing with, there are so many things that are relatable to so many people, myself included, that I just feel she does a great job of at just being honest in the moment of how she is feeling. And I feel like that's really powerful and important to share, right? And so I'm just gonna let her keep talking, but I just, whenever there's something that really resonates with me, I have to bring it up.
But what makes this time feel different to me is because it's something that I've been dancing around for going on several years now. Keto would have been great, okay? It would have been great if I wasn't an addict and had, addictive behaviors, rationalizing, making excuses, all this stuff, so I could just get my fix, my sugar fix, or whatever, just whatever. All right, I'm just gonna say it. And my plant-based and vegetarian and vegan friends, and fans are going to be extremely disappointed in my choice. Folks are going to be worried about my health, because it is very drastic. This is an extreme thing for me, for anybody. But if you do the research on it and, all of the testimonials from different people, from like Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, and many others, Dr. Ken Berry. I've watched video after video after video of him talking about carnivore, okay? Animals. I'm going to eat the animals. I'm going to eat the sweet little innocent animals.
Candy, chill. Chill. So I think it's pretty obvious, like if you're someone that follows my these videos, I think you'd be not surprised to know I'm not the biggest fan of carnivore, right? I personally think it is too extreme. It's not sustainable, especially for someone that's in Candy's position. But that being said, just because I'm not a fan of carnivore, that doesn't mean I'm not a fan of Candy, right? Like, I want to see Candy succeed, and so I am always going to like hope for the best. Like, I don't watch these kinds of videos and think you're gonna fail. I know it's gonna happen, right? I hope for the best. I hope that this works. But when we look at the the trial of evidence and like how many people have tried these kinds of things and how unsustainable they are and how hard it is to stick to this stuff, that informs how I feel and if I would recommend it, right? Just because I wouldn't recommend it to Candy doesn't mean that I'm sitting on the sidelines hoping that she fails, Like, yeah, if it was up to me, probably wouldn't go down this road. But I am not Candy, and I cannot tell her what to do. So all I can do is hope for the best, right? So Candy ended up doing carnivore. She did it for a little bit. And one thing that she said, it was either later in that video or in another video that I watched. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I thought it was interesting because, like I said, you would think that if someone struggled on keto, they would, there's no way they would be able to stick to carnivore for any amount of time, right? And so one thing that I thought was interesting was that she talks about how on keto there were still like too many things that could tempt her that would bring her back to eating just, the typical diet that she was doing. And so with carnivore, with it being more strict, it meant that it was easier to say no to things outright instead of trying to add little things here and there. And I thought that was interesting. I'm not saying that that's the best thing for everybody, but I personally feel like there is some truth to that, especially when you're talking about someone that's like a food addict that really, really struggles with any of their trigger foods. Like, it's easier, especially at the start, to maybe abstain for a bit and then eventually add it back in. The best example I can have is, for me, was soda. Like, before I started losing weight, I used to drink over a 2-liter every single day, and any carbonated drink when I first started losing weight, I had to cut it out. Even diet sodas, even like LaCroix, like nothing that was carbonated, because it was too close to regular soda. And I had tried to lose weight so many times, and anytime I would start drinking soda, I would end up slipping back into those habits, right? And eventually I'm able to add, diet sodas. I have diet sodas often, and it's not an issue for me anymore. But for a while, I did have to cut that out. And so when she brought that up, again, those were things that resonated with me, that made sense. And Candy was able to stay on the carnivore diet for a good amount of time, and she actually ended up losing about 40 pounds, I think, in about 6 weeks, which, is obviously fast, but for the size that Candy is, it's not like unbelievably, oh my God, that's like dangerous fast, but it definitely is fast, but not a huge surprise to me. Candy has been struggling with staying on carnivore, and it's a bummer to see, because I will say that the carnivore community and just in general, the community on Candy's videos have been very positive about this change and about Candy making a change and seeing results. And because obviously, like I've said, whenever I talk about these people that are on the internet that are like trying to lose weight, that like really struggle, and they get like people that are not the nicest, I always say, like, I believe if you were to stick to a weight loss program and find success, like, those people will be like, I'm excited for you. I want to see this, right? And that's something that we saw. But sadly, just today, as I'm recording this, Candy kind of uploaded a video talking about how she's feeling. And so we're going to go over that as well. This is the video right here. It's titled Midweek Struggles. And it's just kind of how she's feeling right now. And so we're just going to go ahead and play it.
Hey, y'all. This is just a quick clip to kind of just let y'all know what I'm going through right now. Yeah, I've ordered out a couple of times this week, and and while I stayed on program, I would think it's causing me to be triggered a lot. So I'm having cravings that I shouldn't be having right now, and I'm struggling, and it sucks, and I hate it. So middle of the week, and I'm not feeling great. I'm really not. And obviously I'm overeating, because of these things. I'll show you my food the end of the week. I got Wendy's one day, and it was a lettuce bun burger, but I ordered crap tons of cheese on it, so that was dumb. Like, why? But I do stupid things sometimes. It's just.
Candy is very hard on herself in these videos, and it's still hard for me to watch that kind of stuff, just because I remember feeling similarly and just feeling like a failure anytime I ate anything, and I just hate seeing that, because I understand the want to lose weight and feeling like you just need to do it, but trying to just, in my opinion, stick to this diet that is so unsustainable for most people, right? Of course, there are going to be people that are like, I've been carnivore for a while and I've been able to do it, but the vast majority of people, this is not something that they can sustain. It just bums me out, because it's you're upset that you can't stick to something that most people wouldn't be able to do, and so most people would be quote unquote a failure, right? And so it just makes me sad seeing the pain, hearing the pain in her voice,
Just the way it goes with me, I guess. But anyway, I just wanted to touch base, and just struggling. Things were working before, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not giving up. I'm not about to give up. I'm wondering where I need to go from here and what I need to do, and I'm pretty sure I need help.
There's nothing wrong with getting that help. And again, you just, as cheesy as it sounds, it's not lost until you decide that it's lost, right? If you decide that it's over, that what's the point? I'm just going to continue eating Wendy's every day and just, I'm going to get buns, I'm going to get the fries, I don't care. That's when, you're at the point of I don't even want to say no return, because you can even return from that, right? But that's when it's clear that you just don't care anymore. But you have to understand, the thing that you're trying to stick to in and of itself, even if you're not a food addict, is going to be hard to stick to, right? And so you got to give yourself some grace.
I'm thinking when I get paid this month, I might go ahead and try this Noom thing out. Y'all know about Noom? Is it any good? Has anybody tried Noom? They asked me a lot of questions about.
So I have heard about Noom, and they've reached out to me before, and I personally wouldn't promote it myself. I think that there can be some good to come out of this. I'm not against Noom at all. And so, I'm curious to see if this will actually end up helping. But again, like anything, no matter how perfect the program is, no matter how optimal it is, if you're not able to stick to it, it's not going to be the best thing for you, right?
My stress and and other things associated with my mental health during all this. So I'm wondering if they have people I can talk to even. So I don't know, but they supposedly they worked me out some kind of meal plan, and apparently by sometime in March if I start now, March or April, probably, if I start in a couple of weeks. I'm supposed to be down to 350, so, and they guarantee it. I'm like, okay.
So with that, I feel like it's a little disingenuous. Like, I feel like you could guarantee anything if there's an asterisk next to it, right? And I'm assuming the asterisk is you stick to the plan, right? And so, like, yeah, like anyone can lose weight if they stick to the plan. That the if is the biggest thing, right? And so, like, I guess you could say that you have a guarantee, but like if it means asterisk, you have to stick to the plan when you're talking about people that have historically really struggled with sticking to these plans, then that's it. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about that. It feels a little funky to me.
We'll see. But, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice to be down to 350, before the middle of next year?
This right here, man. I remember having thoughts like this so often. I've talked about this before. I would literally dream about being slim when I was bigger. That's what I would dream about, right? And I remember when I was a kid, I used to skate all the time, and I was never very good. But I'd be practicing my ollies in my like driveway or like right by my house. We didn't really have a driveway, and I would think to myself, if every ollie I did equaled I lost a pound, dude, I would be so thin, right? Or just these random thoughts. And Candy, the thing is that like you can do that. It's not some like crazy dream that I know it feels like that because again, I remember feeling that way. But you have to reframe it and like this is possible. You just got to stick to the plan. Like it is possible. And I mean that in the most encouraging way possible. It is not some pipe dream. It's not some like, oh, imagine that, you don't have to imagine it. It can be your reality. And I mean that with my whole heart, like it can be real. It's not some dream that is like ridiculous to think about. It really, really isn't.
That would be awesome. And it's slow weight loss. It's not like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I do like that it's not like you can lose 200 pounds by then because like technically Candy could lose more than that weight in that amount of time. But I like that they're not saying that we need you to be losing, 150 pounds or whatever, something crazy in a short amount of time.
I dropped the first 40 pounds so fast. It's probably not a good thing because I do not want to gain it back. I mean, I do not want to gain it back.
That fear is another thing that's really tough to deal with, especially because Candy, like I will say this as someone that, I am a nutritional science coach or whatever. You probably will gain a little bit of weight if you decide to do this Noom thing, right? Because they will probably not have you in as much of a deficit as you probably are right now. And you're going to be eating carbs. You're going to be gaining water weight. You're probably not going to see the scale move as fast as you want, and that is going to be very difficult. But like as someone that understands this a little bit, you have to push through that because you have lost weight very quickly, and that is not something that is super sustainable. And a lot of it's probably going to be water weight, as cheesy as that might sound, and like that's become a meme. You are going to gain some water weight if you end up doing Noom and they have you eating carbs. Like that's just how it is. I'm sure you already know that that's kind of how that stuff works, but you just have to not let that scale, when it moves up a little bit, mess with your mind too much, because it probably will happen a little bit at least.
So I'm still going to be weighing every week and being as vigilant as possible, but Lord, y'all, I'm going through it right now. I don't know. I don't, it's a bunch of things, but the main thing is me. I'm having issues. So, I'm trying to figure me out and what I need to do to stop wanting to just put things in my face. Just stop.
It's so much easier said than done, right? But that's the last video that I wanted to show you on Candy in this video. So that, again, like that was uploaded as a few hours before I recorded this. And again, I wanted to share this journey because something that I've always really liked about Candy that I said earlier is that I feel like she is very honest about what she's going through. And I think that there is a lot of people can relate to a lot of what she's saying. And I was reading through the comments on these videos, and they are pretty supportive, and that makes me really happy, because a lot of times when people are, sharing their journey and they're struggling, a lot of times the comment section might not reflect that. But with Candy, it seems that it has, and I think that's because people can see that it seems like she genuinely wants to change, regardless of how much she might struggle and do the mukbangs, and how much that might frustrate some people because they feel like it's not genuine. I feel like when I watch the videos, when she's talking about how she feels and what she's going through, it does seem like she genuinely does want to change. And so I hope that, she's able to find success. But I just wanted to share that. Hopefully you were able to get something out of this video, if it's like being able to relate to Candy, or, just whatever it might be. I hope you were able to get something out of it. And Candy, if you end up watching this, just know that, I believe in you. And I know there's a lot of people in the comment section that want to see you succeed. And I know there's a lot of people in your comment section that want to see you succeed. So there are a lot of people that are rooting for you, and we hope the best for you. But without anything else, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.